beneath the surface of the winds
Always.
comes the German fantasy.
I gotta bring up this movie. Okay. So,
We might have to revisit. I love Tim, but this goes.
it's 60 seconds.
I know, but
Yeah.
we got. I have
I
so
can
much
cut
to
it
say.
shorter. I can,
This cuts into Nick time, homie.
I'm gonna see Cousin Tim tomorrow. I can say, hey man, do a new
Cut it
theme
down.
song and make it shorter, and I'll pay you nothing. Welcome to SlashU.
Welcome to SlashU. I'm your friend Nick, and across from me,
I'm not your friend, but I'm Andy.
yeah, he hates you.
Fuck our listeners.
Fuck our
That's
listeners.
your line.
No,
That's
that
not
was
my line.
today's opposite day.
Oh.
Hey, we've got a studio audience,
Oh yay! My lovely sister's watching us.
and Jody's here. Like it's just we have
Yay.
the studio is alive.
Party it. We have a full classroom.
Wear the jacket.
Full classroom today.
You gotta
Here-
put on,
here at
we have a
SlashU.
leather jacket that Andy had to wear in the Murder Cabin movie.
Follow murder_cabin_movie on Instagram.
So we'll definitely get this on our socials.
Oh yeah.
But we're glad to be here.
Yep. Here, episode 145 of SlashU.
It's Shark Week.
Shark Week. Do you have a dick shot killer for this one?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Okay. Of
course I do.
Good. You guess I'll pick one too.
Mine
Oh, man.
rhymes with ham.
Okay. Sounds good.
But before we kick off, you know
Yeah.
how much I love Shark Week, and you know how much I love you. We just survived the RNC here in Milwaukee.
They're gone.
Yes.
They're all gone.
I started
For
thinking,
better or worse.
we've watched some shitty movies, and
Yep.
if we can want like Final Exam,
Yep. Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer, if we can survive those movie Andys, we can survive anything together.
I agree. I agree. I didn't go near downtown all this week just because I didn't want to deal with closings and traffic and whatever.
No
the
one
fuck.
did. The bars or restaurants didn't do dick.
Yeah.
You're going to do so much money, and no
Yeah.
one did dick.
It's weird though that the people who were there from out of town for the convention didn't go out to any of the bars or do anything. Like what? Why?
Milwaukee Grinder.
I heard it was.
Over.
I heard the RNC was like a grinder Super Bowl. That was the official description.
Yeah.
A lot of guys liking grinder there in the.
A lot of guys getting hand jobs next to the bronze fawns.
That's your thing. Cool. It's just you're gonna keep it secret. Why keep it secret today's day and age?
I have a
come
picture
out
of
already.
Donald Trump Jr. Licking the bulge on the bronze fawns.
Oh, was that a
Yes.
real thing?
I sent it to Newsmax, but they didn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Andy, you know we do Shark Week occasionally
Yes.
here at SlashU, so I have a question for you.
Please answer.
But it reminds me of this.
Yes.
Would you rather have a little canned tuna juice come out of your nose every time someone says your name, or pleasure yourself while wearing a shark costume on a YouTube channel with 30,000 subscribers?
You're reading that. Did you
Yeah.
write that down?
Mm-hmm.
I just got to do the once.
No.
You
Yeah.
just- yeah. I'll
Yeah.
probably do that. The shark costume cover my face.
No, you gotta. Your face will come out like of the mouth.
Well, if I'm pleasuring myself on a YouTube channel, it's going to be a one and done because YouTube take that shit right down. There's no way.
Okay.
There's
I
no
really
way it
didn't
would
think this one out.
survive
I was just
much
trying to make
longer
this
than
one.
that.
I was just trying to make this one shark.
But every time
related.
somebody says my name, a little
Tuna juice.
tuna juice from a can of tuna comes out of my nose.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy. Oh, shit. Give me a cleaner.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Would it make a difference if once a month you had to pleasure yourself while wearing a shark costume on a YouTube channel with 30,000
I
subscribers?
would still do that because at least that'd be enjoyable, I guess. Yeah, where the tuna juice.
And it won't be
Wouldn't be
taken
fun.
down either.
Which one would you do?
What?
Which one would you
Oh,
do?
I would totally pleasure myself in a shark costume.
30,000 followers.
Yeah. I would ask if we...
Next month there's 60. Next month there's 120.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Don't you follow my Instagram? I mean, I pretty much do it on there anyway.
Yeah, right. Oh, Lord.
But, I love Shark Week. I know we should go ahead and get into it because we do have Creasa here visiting us, and I want to go visit. So we watched the movie. It was great. And next week, we're going to watch another movie. Thanks for tuning in.
That's it. Goodbye,
That's
everybody.
SlashU.
Just kidding.
Hey, so we did Shark Week, and this
Yes.
first one is
This was
from
your pick.
My pick, 2016, 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Ice sharks.
Yes.
Ugh.
What if you just put vanilla ice sharks?
Ooh,
and then would it
even
be
better.
cool, like,
Yep. Vanilla
stop,
ice sharks.
collaborate, and chomp chomp.
Word to your mother. Yeah,
Yeah.
right on the.
Like, Word to your mother.
Directed by Emil Edwin Smith.
Holy fuck, was the acting in this movie so good. I mean, I'm not joking around. Everyone thinks today's opposite day. Today is not opposite day. I was more amazed.
What?
No.
Are we?
Let's just get into it, man.
Yeah.
I'm so...
It's not great.
It's... What? Don't say that.
It's exactly what you'd expect from one of these movies.
Why don't we get into Andy's Cliff Kill Little Notes, totes, brought to you by Silly String. If you want to have some fun at a party or some sexual fetish encounters, grab some Silly String. And now, Andy's Cliff Kill Little Notes, totes.
Thank you, Silly String. That shit's flammable. You know that?
Yeah, that's why it makes sexual fetishes even more.
Oh, wow.
fun.
Light it on fire. So, anyway.
So Andy plays music over this.
No,
while-
she knows.
Oh, okay.
She listens.
Oh, yeah.
We're teaching how the sausage is made here.
It's the first time we really had a student in the studio.
All right. Good thing this is on a loop.
I'm glad I'm wearing a shirt today.
Cliff Kill Notes, a brief summary of the movies. You can follow along. Like I said, directed by Emil Edwin Smith. I watched this on Plex with commercials. It's on the Roku channel. You can rent or buy, all that shit.
It's all over the place.
Climate change is at it again, Nick. A group of scientists working at a research station in the Arctic are studying the effects of climate change on the ice at the top of the world. But because of the warming waters, a group of sharks has taken up residence in the area, hungry for anything that they can get their jaws on. The team must radio for help and hang on for dear life as their research station comes under siege from these aquatic killers. And this is the best written thing about the movie.
That was brilliant as always, but you forget.
What?
These sharks smell like piss.
Yeah, funny. I was going to save this for when we get to that in the movie, but I went ahead and looked up the sharks. We can say it now. These are like, I guess, like Greenland sharks?
Yes.
Real shark.
Yep.
Fun fact about Greenland sharks, also known as Gurry shark or gray shark, is the oldest. They are among the oldest, the longest lifespan of any known vertebrate, estimated to be 250 to 500 years old. Now, this is Wikipedia, but I'm going to assume it's not edited.
Yeah, man, I can agree with that.
They usually grow between 2.4 and 7 meters, or 8 to 23 feet, and weigh between 400 to 1,400 kilograms, or 880 to 3,090 pounds. They reach sexual maturity at about 150 years of age.
That's a long time to wait.
I can finally have some sex. I'm all old now.
Well, if they live to be like 800, they're probably like, yeah, let's have some sex.
Their gestation period, when they're pregnant, between 8 and 18 years. Can you imagine being pregnant for as long as it takes a human to grow to the age to vote? And the part in this movie where they smell like piss is true of Greenland sharks. That wasn't made up for the movie. There's an Inuit legend about the Greenland sharks because they have poisonous flesh, a high urea content, and it gave rise to the Inuit legend of Skalugasak, the first Greenland shark. Legend says an old woman washed her hair in urine, which is a common practice to kill head lice, and she dried it with a cloth, and the cloth blew into the ocean and became Skalugasak, the first Greenland shark. All that's true. So these sharks are a real thing. 250 to 500 years old?
Yes.
We got to research that shit.
150?
Invent immortality, man.
Do Greenland sharks plether themselves? I mean, did they do that before they have sex?
I don't fucking know if not everything masturbates, but maybe.
Chinchillas do.
That's good. So do bonobos. All kinds of animals, I guess. But
this is great because
they're not studied
sharks
very much because
that
they're
smell
really
like piss.
Yeah.
It's almost probably like a weekend out with Andy.
They don't have a ton of scientific research on them because they're so deep in the water, and we will talk about that more in the plot of this movie.
It's interesting because it's like the Arctic Circle 2004.
Is that when it takes place? No.
It's a man and his huskies. He's a Nanook tribesman.
A dog sled.
Sled, and he's out hunting.
Yeah.
And my guess, Andy, is that there's a science lab out there in the Antarctica and
Arctic, yeah.
Whatever.
Antarctic.
Same thing.
That's the other side of the Earth,
No,
but that's
it's
fine.
not. Why do you have to turn this into nerd you? So I'm just thinking that the snow's crust is going to melt and like a megalodon is going to come out and eat everybody. I did not think it was going to be piss sharks that smell like piss.
It was, though.
Totally threw me off for a loop.
This hunter, he's like tracking a polar bear, I guess.
Yeah.
and his dog, he winds up on the edge of the ice.
When I saw the dogs, I was like, God damn it, are those piss-smelling sharks going to eat those fucking dogs? Now I'm glad that the sharks are fucking assholes.
All 8 sled dogs, and the hunter.
And the Nanook hunter.
Dead. So
Dead.
I counted them.
Yes, you should. Did you know there's 106 different ways to say shark bite in the Eskimoian language of Nanook?
Eskimoian. I did not know that.
106 different ways to say shark bite.
That's
First
wild.
one is the second one is tua.
Oh.
The third one
I'm sure. Yeah. It means shark bite. Spit on that thing.
I guess it could be a shark bite.
You never know.
That could be like a great name for a beer.
Okay, yeah.
Tua. No, anyway, I joke.
I'm sure there's an independent brewery making that beer right now.
There's something. Mm-hmm. So there are sharks out there in the ice,
Yes.
Andy. I was right. We do cut to a secret laboratory. I don't know if it's necessarily secret.
It's not secret. They have like government grants and shit. They're doing like legit science.
But we meet Sexy Lexi and our surfer boy Michael, and they do science things.
Yeah.
They check test tubes and and tap on computers.
That's what I said. We meet
Total
the team
science.
doing science stuff.
Yeah.
It's Tracy and David are the lead actors, I guess.
Tracy and David, they're lovers too.
Yeah, they are.
Secret love.
Well, you're cooped up out in the ice for weeks at a time, of course.
I would have gotten with Michael. His luscious blonde hair looks delicious.
Yep.
But we get Eddie and Val too. Eddie and Val are like our minority.
Yep.
The Asian
Eddie's a
and
black dude. Val's an Asian lady.
Of course,
Alex is a black lady. Yep. Very diverse cast here.
Yeah, it's really
one of them was probably LGBTQ. We don't know.
Yes.
We don't know though.
I know.
Maybe it was Val.
And one of them smelled like piss.
Oh.
Hey, did
Probably,
you
that was
know?
probably Michael.
Much like Jason 10, Friday the 13th, 10, Jason 10. Instead of a space lab, this is an Arctic lab where they study Arctic squids and sea life and each other's bodies. It's a premises that's been in 1 million movies, but again, the secret lab in the sea, deep blue sea.
But the sensors don't make sense.
The sensors are saying like things are getting
It's
warm.
really warm. It's some kind of new warm current. Sammy, our sensor guy, he's like, I don't understand what's going on. And he decides, they reboot the system, of course, turn it off, turn it back on. Still not working.
They blow in the cartridge.
Right.
Sensors still aren't working.
Still not working. So they decide, Sammy's like, I got to go head out to check the sensor.
Yes, and because ice currents, melting, ice sharks. Andy, this movie kind of reminds me of Dante's Peak, but instead of a volcano, it's ice sharks.
I do like that they check the radar to see there's a storm coming in 12 hours. That plays no further part in the movie.
That's great because I was making so many notes on this damn storm.
Yeah.
And because it makes
Gotta be
sense.
careful. There's a storm coming.
Because
we don't fucking
adds
care.
the story.
Nope.
Nothing there.
Also, Sammy and Michael are brothers. That's it.
Yes.
That's all you need to know about those guys. I don't know. There's a radio call from a town nearby. The guy with a thick Eskimo Canadian accent. Tracy, is that you? Yeah, we lost another hunter.
He's the tribesman for the Nanook tribe.
Right.
He's the elder.
And he's just like, we can't find our other hunter. He's gone missing.
That's a really good job.
I just watched it an hour ago, so.
Let me see if I can do it too. I sound like Bob Dylan.
Hey,
How you doing?
the answer's blowing in the wind. So
Is Bob Dylan Eskimoian?
he might be Eskimoian.
That makes more sense.
Well, the hunter went missing roughly 5 miles from the station, so our heroes David and Tracy agree to go check out where he was last seen.
Meanwhile, Sammy
Went to check the sensor.
our golden boy's brother is going out to check the sensor. And so, but before he leaves his brother, I love this. He's like, hey, man, we got some scotch that Dad sent us. So when I get back, let's pop it open.
All right.
Right there, he's not coming back.
Nope. Don't ever make plans in a horror movie. Hey,
Don't ever-
later, let's blah, blah, blah. You're going to die.
It's
Don't
like,
do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when I get back,
Yeah.
we're going to drink some scotch together.
Right. It's the old never just say, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah. So from Scream. Anyway, they, Tracy and David go out to look for the hunter. They do this cutesy race on the snowmobiles. I bet I can ride faster than you over the radio, whatever. It's
That reminded me of Jaws 3 in 3D when Dennis Quaid and they're going around playing around with the the dolphins, and they're like, I can swim better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And it's just like, voiceover footage.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing.
Yeah.
This movie was 20% B-roll
Yeah.
and 65% CGI.
They not great CGI either. Something I could do on my
Dollar General CGI.
Kevin Smith found an iPhone on the sidewalk CGI. But they get to where the hunter was last seen. They find a bunch of gross guts and blood and meat all over the ice. They assume, well, this might be a polar bear kill. But then they're like, well, there's a lot of meat here that a polar bear wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Tracy finds a tooth, and David finds a fingernail from where our hunter got dragged into the water. And that's when Tracy's like, oh, my God, get away from the water. And boom.
I thought the fingernail was a good touch.
Yes.
I wrote that down. I was like, you know what? Some people would think about like dragging, trying to save yourself.
Yeah, hanging onto the ice while the shark dragged him underwater.
Yeah, so,
but Tracy smelled ammonia. She's like, smells like ammonia, and she just like realizes a second too late that there's a shark.
Smells like Nick's jacket.
David, get away from the edge.
And a shark pops out of the water and knocks David into the sea. He struggles for help.
Yep.
Tracy runs to the rescue and, hey, Andy, what lake in Saskatchewan do you think they filmed this?
I don't know.
This cold water? Okay, David swims around for a little bit.
Very cold, yeah.
And hypothermia, but throughout the whole movie they swim in it, and throughout the whole damn movie,
they're fine.
No, how I didn't. And maybe I'm no environmental scientist, but I didn't think green, luscious kelp could grow in cold waters of the Antarctica.
No, I don't know. I'm not a marine biologist either, but I don't know what's under the Arctic. I imagine there's got to be some plant life down there, even though it's really cold. But you're right.
Do plants survive in the Northwoods? I mean, you're a Sasquatch. I mean, what?
Yeah, there's plant life in the lakes up there, but it's
not. No, but I mean in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah.
Things thrive in the winter?
Sure. I mean, pine trees, and I'm sure under the ice there's probably some weeds and stuff, but you're right.
This was a luscious forest. Okay,
it was. He falls, so they probably filmed it in SoCal or something, where he could just swim in off the coast. And,
the luscious tropical waters of Antarctica.
Put this jacket and snow pants on, and we'll push you in the water.
Gotta make sense.
But she pulls him out. She manages to throw a rope in and then hitch it to the snowmobile and haul him out of the water. And they get back to the station, and they make a really big deal about how cold David is. But for the rest of the movie, anyone who gets in the water shakes it off very easily.
They swim around for like 10 minutes.
They come out, just give me a towel, it's fine. But David in this scene, it's like, put some, a towel around him, dry him, get his wet clothes off, dry him off, give him a hot cup of tea. He's a big pansy, and everybody else is fine.
Yeah, no. Why does David piss on him? Don't say anything. Maybe they'll believe it.
Yeah. David pisses all over the people. No.
I got a jellyfish thing. You want me to piss on you?
It's just,
when they tell the people that they're regular, they're sharks, they're like, sharks? You wouldn't expect sharks swimming around the cold waters of the Nanook tribe.
Right.
But
they explain,
Andy, they're not just sharks, they're ice sharks.
That's what they say. Tracy's like, it looked and smelled like a Greenland shark because they smell like piss. And David even says, like, it can't be a Greenland shark. Those things are super slow. Like, they barely, they swim like they're asleep, They've
evolved.
Yeah, they've evolved. It's
warm
like
currents
a fast, aggressive breed of Greenland shark. They move south because the ice is melting.
Hot Surfer Boy doesn't think this is right, and so they're all going to try to figure out if this is the right species of shark. Hey, Andy, you know what's pretty rad about this movie? It's got a sustainable message to it. Very environmental, very green, very warning us that if we don't take care of Mother Earth, ice sharks that smell of piss will come and ravage the waters that surround us.
I 100% believe it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, stay tuned for next week. There's more. There's more fun shark action.
I love Shark Week. We should do Shark Week in December. Well, Shark Week for Christmas. Okay,
I don't want to step on our buddy at Bucket of Chum.
Oh, I know.
He handles a lot of the shark movies.
But I mean, there's a lot of other horror podcasts out there too. There's gonna be another one.
Well,
SharkU, look out, Bucket of Chum.
Back to your boy Sammy checking his old sensor. I like how when people in the movie talk to themselves so that it can serve as exposition for us. He's looking at the sensor and he says out loud, "Well, you're not malfunctioning. The ice is just really thin here." And I know that if it were me, I would say that out loud. I wouldn't think it to myself. But because we as the audience need to understand that the ice is real thin, then Sammy says it out loud. It's, great plot device.
There's some beer in this can. I think I'm going to take a sip of it right now.
Right. I also think I'm going to take a sip of this beer.
See, because people are listening to us, so they don't know.
You need to say what you're doing at all times, and that's what Sammy's doing here.
But it's like when the Elderman,
Tracy calls him on the radio.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, is there anything happening with the hunter that you lost?" And she lets him know that it's a shark attack, and he doesn't freak out.
Right.
He's just like, "Yeah, whatever." She's like, "Keep your people away from the water." He's like, "I don't know if we can because his people will follow that land because they live off the land, Andy. They need the waters of Saskatchewan to feed their families and their
it's
soul."
much further north than Saskatchewan.
Listen, I don't want to fucking get in a fight.
This
while we're
isn't
recording this
geography, you.
podcast.
Yeah.
So,
I think they're really far
meanwhile,
north.
Surfer Nuts is trying to get in touch with his brother Sammy.
Right.
And but Sammy's out there, like you said, just having a good old time on his on his snowmobile.
Uh-huh.
And after about 10 minutes of fucking B-roll footage of someone riding a snowmobile, he finally makes it to a sensor.
Right.
And it's like you said, it's not malfunction. It's like, oh, everything's worked. It's just thin ice. Under that thin ice, Andy, he sees a
shape.
A shape of something swimming under ice.
That would be freaky as fuck, by the way.
Yeah, that would.
I would not like that. I would
That would
run
be
to the
crazy.
snowmobile and get the fuck out of there if I saw something under the ice.
I know, like,
no.
I stand on ice and see like a perch under there. I'm like, oh my god!
Hard pass.
The shark busts through the ice and gets at Sammy and slices his leg.
Yeah.
I mean, a big ass slice, Andy. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. He struggles to try to take his belt. He's dazed out. He's trying to save himself. But as the shark is like, they make growling. That's what they kind of sound like.
Right.
The shark
like a
is
deaf guy
trying to
having
go
an
on.
orgasm.
Oh my god!
Yeah, wasn't there like a spike he fell on? It's cut into his leg, and the shark.
But it's so rad because
Tied
the
to a
shark
rope.
busts back through the ice and rips off his leg.
Yeah.
So his leg falls to the bottom of the seafloor, and there's Sammy just dying there, kind of just dazed out, just politely dies next to this
overhead shot at him.
Yeah, with blood trailing into that pool of ocean.
Yeah.
And that is my
Dick kill.
shot of the week. Shot of the week.
Kill of the week. Dick shot. Kill of the week.
Dick shot kill of the week. I just thought that visual was so romantic almost.
Oh,
Andy.
yeah.
I mean, it really made me feel good. So
Overhead. I was for a minute there like, do you think he's going to come back? Is he going to survive this? Because he just ripped his leg off from the knee down. But
nope.
no.
No,
done.
because Andy,
he bled out.
he said, I'll be back for some scotch.
Yeah.
And you know he would never get some of that scotch.
Well, at least he didn't get eaten by sharks. He just bled to death on the ice.
I think I'd much rather get eaten.
Me too.
Or
this
would you-
was a horrible way to die.
Would you rather get eaten by a shark or masturbate in a shark's costume in front of on a YouTube screen?
Eaten by a shark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
No, I joke. So so he kind of falls into his state of deadness, and it's but this
Death. State of deadness.
God, damn,
He falls into his state
A
of
state-
deadness.
you know, state of deadness. That's like
Simultaneously bleeding to death and freezing
another
to
emo
death.
band.
Right. State of deadness.
State of dead. Hey,
Next
what's up?
summer.
Next summer, we're
One
gonna
of the
be-
side stages at Summerfest.
yeah, man. State of deadness, bruh.
Yeah.
1
they're all
o'clock Thursday. Hey,
eyeshadow and collars.
Tracy's trying to get in touch with Sammy because the
Right.
radio rule.
Right.
Always stay in touch. So everyone's trying to get in touch with him, but they're not having a luck because he's dead.
Obviously, his brother Michael is distraught because, you know, that's his bro and takes over. Come on, Sammy, answer. Suddenly, the station starts to shake. Eddie decides, the other, you know, guy with like 5 lines, token black guy, is like, I'm going to go outside and look for Sammy. And Michael's like, I'm coming with you. Sammy goes outside, but now somehow, Nick, the sharks are cutting through the ice.
They're smart. They
Their
evolved.
Their dorsal fins are able to slice through the ice like tremors. And
Yes, I thought this was interesting, though.
Yeah.
It was a cool kind of component to the story.
They're making like a circle. The station's on the edge of the ice, near the edge of the ice, and the sharks are like cutting a circle in the ice to sort of make the station float away from the main ice chunk and out into the ocean. So are they intelligent?
They've evolved.
They just know that they can do this? They've evolved.
Yes.
They've evolved to the point where they know how to do this.
Another question, too, is what is a moon pool? That's what they have. They have some...
In the basement of their station?
Yeah, it's just, I guess they cut through the ice to get water.
Yeah. And probably sensors and things to probe into the water to test the temperature. Yeah, it's
Maybe
just
some
a pool.
Late night love action?
In 20-degree water or whatever it is. 33-degree water, whatever it is. Yeah.
Seriously, talk about it.
Yeah, big time shrinkage. Yeah, big time. Anyway, it seems like the sharks are cutting the station off onto its own little ice float to try to sink it.
What is Eddie trying to do? He's on a snowmobile trying to pull the lab back.
Yeah, they like tie a rope to the base of or a big steel cable to the base of the station, and on the other end on his snowmobile, and he tries to like gun it over a real thin strip of open water to sort of, I guess, secure the station from floating away. But he gets stuck. You know, he can't make it out of the water with his snowmobile, or you know, he's just kind of like on the edge, I guess, and he's gunning it. It's not working. There's a shark coming right at him.
Very deep blue sea-ish here.
Tracy's on the radio. Then David's like, hit the PA, you know. So he's like, you know, get out of there, Eddie. Get off the snowmobile. And a shark just jumps out of the water and snags him right into the water.
That reminded me of
Deep Blue Sea,
the Samuel L. Jackson kill in Deep Blue Sea, just because of that component of
right.
You know,
it was very sudden.
Suddenly he's gone,
and so he's dead. Eddie's dead. So now the station is floating. It's floated away from the main chunk of ice.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat.
And we have Michael, David, Tracy, Val, and Alex. And then, all right, do we have any ideas? What are we gonna do here?
Yeah, you know? It's like they're on a big ass slab of ice. They're trying to use bombs, gas tanks, super glue.
They try a torch. They strap a torch onto a propane tank to make a depth charge. They say plural. We'll make depth charges, but they only tried it once. David like straps it all up and he just dumps it in the water. Instead, I would have just like thrown it. You know what I mean? They made it seem like he threw it far away, but he just dumped it in the water.
I don't think you would have had to worry about anything because there's no such thing as ice sharks.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's right. He dumps it in. The thing sinks for about 10 seconds and explodes. I don't know what the plan was here, though. Kill the sharks or scare them away?
I wrote the same thing, brother.
You're throwing one propane tank into the water, and then you're not even like aiming for a shark. So I didn't get what they were trying to do.
I feel like they were kind of calling back to Steven Spielberg's Jaws, like, you know,
Maybe.
like with propane tanks and shit. But I don't care. I love Shark Week at SlashU, and so I'm really having a good time.
The thing blows up underwater, causing a wave to knock into the station in the ice float, which causes the long-range radio antenna to fall over. So now they can't call out on the radio, and the sharks just go away momentarily. And
yeah,
I mean,
and this is like where Blonde Jesus realizes that he really has to kind of take more of control with his crew, because when they get back, when he after all this commotion, he gets everyone back into the lab, and there's Val, kind of like, I don't know if she was secret lovers with Sammy or Eddie, but she's kind of like distraught.
Eddie was hitting on her earlier.
Yeah, of course. So I think there was kind of like little kiss, kiss, touch, touch. Boop,
maybe.
boop.
Yeah.
She wants to use
Shit
the ROV.
gets lonely out in the ice. Yeah.
that's like a good country album.
Yeah, right.
Shit gets lonely.
It's so lonely out here on the ice.
Or like Nanook bluegrass music.
I asked AI to make a country song about being alone on the ice. You seen that trend lately? People on Instagram, I asked AI to make a country song about Dr. Pepper, and it like made a song about drinking tons of Dr. Pepper.
Does it work?
Yeah, they're catchy songs. So
maybe I'll try one when we take a break. I'll try to write a song about getting trapped on the ice. Andy, real quick, I wanted to bring this up too. This is she talks about using the ROV as an anchor. I don't know what this means, but
it's like a probe.
Badass.
Yeah.
And not only sharks, but we got ice sharks, and they're bringing up the storm. They're worried about the storm coming, which again is never brought into fruition.
David mentions if they're floating when this storm hits, the first wave will flip them. And I wrote in my notes, that's the last time they mention the storm.
Yeah.
You never hear about it again.
That's
it never shows up. He's not wrong. Like, I'm not going to argue with the guy. Yes, floating out here, big old storm comes through. Yes, we're fucked, but it doesn't happen in this movie. There's no payoff.
If ChatGPT wrote a script.
Probably. I made that the Cliff Kill notes. So this movie's like ChatGPT wrote a script about sharks. This movie is
like if a Dollar General, Kevin Smith, went to ChatGPT.
Okay, so Val and is it Val and Alex and Michael, they're watching as they drive this probe thing underwater. They're going to tie a steel cable to it, and what they're going to, I think the plan was to drive it all the way to the bottom and sort of anchor the station from floating too far out to sea.
That's exactly what they want to do, but then they bring up the thing like if the storm does come, it'll knock it over. But
They wanted to do this so that they can call for help and hopefully just stay in one place.
I still just call back to that luscious greenery that is, that we see
Under the water?
Yeah.
Oh, there's kelp and there's other fish.
I'm just a writer
Yeah.
and a co-host of a slasher podcast that has 7 listeners. What do I know?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to accept it. There's a whole bunch of plant life. Great.
But they do notice in the camera, sorry, Andy, that they see,
camera? Yeah.
They notice Sammy's leg.
They're like,
Or his boot.
is that Sammy's boot on the ocean floor?
Yeah.
Somehow it's there. It's like, oh, shit. So Sammy's dead. A shark. A shark grabs the camera probe thing and starts starts swimming away with it. Val tries to grab the steel cable to keep it from I guess getting away, and shark just jumps up out of the water and eats her.
Yeah,
just
so
like that.
she's dead.
Boom, another one.
So this like the things are really kind of getting chaotic.
Yeah,
I mean,
half of the platform breaks off.
Exactly.
The ice platform, causing the lower level of the station to start to fill up with water.
Yeah, and the laboratory is filling with water, cold water. We have sharks, and not just any shark, Andy.
Ice sharks that smell like piss. Got it.
Smell like piss. Sexy Lexi and blonde dude, they're kind of stuck with the sharks as lovers.
Alex and Michael.
As lovers, David and Tracy try to call for help.
Right.
They fire something into the sharks, like flares, tranquilizers.
Yeah.
But
Didn't
that
work.
lab looks like a Lego building. It was like the director asked his nephew, hey, will you build a lab thing so we can knock it over?
Cool CG lab. But so Alex and Michael have to get up to the upper floor, but they can't get to the door because the place is filling up with water. And they notice like a loose wire, and Michael's like, shove that in the water, and then we'll get up on some floaty boxes or something, turn on the breaker to send some electricity into the water, and it drives away the sharks momentarily.
This is going back to your point where everyone's just swimming around this water, like in their in their tidy whities, like sitting there swimming. I looked it up. I wrote, hey Alexa, fucking how long does it take hypothermia to sit in? And she went. She didn't answer me because she never answers me.
Right.
So then I actually went to my computer and Googled it.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes in 40-degree water, and they were swimming around for a while.
This is not 40-degree water. This is colder.
That's what I'm screaming.
Yeah, this is like a degree or two above freezing.
I mean,
otherwise it would be frozen.
And they're just sitting. I mean, like I was like,
and it's salt water. Well, I mean, salt water has to get colder to freeze. A lot colder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like not 32. Like
you live in
colder.
northern Minnesota,
You take cold plunges and shit, but not in the ocean. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's buoyancy.
Yeah. Well, someone write in /upodcast@gmail.com. How cold does the ocean need to be to freeze? That's the question of the week.
I mean, I seriously started wondering why they started doing water aerobics in the.
Well,
I was like, wait, there's sharks swimming around and they're sitting there doing jumping jacks.
They managed to send some electricity into the water briefly, drives away the sharks. They shut the breaker off, and they swim down to the door, get out upstairs. And now they're upstairs with Tracy and David.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank goodness, because all the minorities are now not with us, and so it's only white people.
And I said, Alex is black.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good, sorry.
Alex and Michael don't need nearly the same care that David did when he was in the water because they're not pansies. And that's in my notes. And then they act fast, seal off the upper level of the station. So
Fabio's really kind of putting things
Michael.
together. Same thing.
You just lose people when you call them all these different names.
No, they know I'm talking about. They say, "Oh, Nick's talking about a guy with beautiful, luscious long hair." He's
Sexy
talking about
Jesus,
Michael.
yeah, Michael.
And you always correct me because that's just who you are.
Dolph Lundgren looking. Yeah, he's. I just don't want people to be confused. That's all.
They're really gonna think Fabio's in the movie.
No, maybe you're talking about David. I don't know.
David doesn't like Fabio.
I like to stick to the names that the writers gave.
I don't know their names,
so it's not confusing.
Fuck the writers.
Fuck everybody. Yeah.
No, I joke. But there's it looks like the laboratory is going to go underwater, so they have to seal the level off.
Right.
And so they grab some batteries, some wires, a couple rolls of duct tape.
Put that right in your mouth.
Couple rolls
there
of
you
duct
go.
tape.
Yeah, you sound great.
They start getting everything put together.
Well, I just thought it was weird how Tracy scrambles to get the emergency beacon hooked up while they're sinking. Why didn't she do that as soon as the radio tower fell down when Eddie got grabbed? And the radio tower. Why didn't she go, oh shit, the radio tower's down. I better hook up the emergency beacon. She waits till the place is sinking.
That is crazy. I wondered why Tracy was in this movie, the actress that
Same.
plays Tracy.
Oh.
Did you know that she Jenna Parker.
Yeah.
The only reason she took this role was because Kate Winslet had gotten Titanic.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's the truth.
You're a liar.
No, I'm not.
Seawater freezes at 28.4 degrees and can change based on the percentage of salt.
So that water's definitely 31 degrees.
It's
32.
colder than 32.
It's colder than 40.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't use Fahrenheit, sorry.
But anyway, the unfortunately, Andy, the lab starts to sink. So we spend about 10 minutes watching the lab sink to the ocean's floor.
Yeah, they have like a depth little number on the screen, 90 feet.
This movie
89 feet.
This movie could have been
88 feet.
27 minutes.
And they're just watching the screen as we're sinking. We're definitely sinking. 75 feet, 74, 73. I felt like it would have sank faster, but what do I know?
Fast forward.
Yep, skip, and they're at the bottom. So
they make it safe.
they shine their little flashlights outside, and the sharks are attracted to it. Oh shit! Don't do that. Close the blinds or whatever. And they figure out they've got about a day of air left.
This is what's cool, Andy. When the leaks are kind of spreading throughout the lab, because it's underwater, they have to, kind of seal it. So they, David grabs a welder's mask, and I had like sexual flashbacks of the Beast.
Sweatshop. Yeah.
Every time I see a welder's mask
You're triggered now from a welder's mask. Ooh, boner. Yeah. Oh, welder's mask. I'm oddly aroused. Right? Michael, I didn't get this part, so I gloss over it, but Sexy Jesus Michael comes up with some kind of plan to pump the water out of the lower floor.
Yes, I wrote the same thing, brother. I don't know what's happening here.
They can get emergency power back on and then use the radio or whatever. So Michael is going to swim, gets his scuba suit on and swim around some of the boulders that are underneath the station so that the sharks can't get to him.
He has to get to the MRVs that have the NPRs because LOLs are OMGing.
Yeah, they're using all these acronyms, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this means.
It just makes it sound sciencey, so everyone loves it,
But he's got to swim slowly so as not to attract the sharks.
I was wondering if he just smells like piss.
Oh, yeah, David peed on him.
Yeah, like David peed on him because, no, hear me out. Because zombies, you can rub zombie flesh on you and you can walk amongst the zombies.
Yeah.
Like what The Walking Dead taught us.
Yeah.
So if David pissed on him, he might say, like, well, the sharks won't attack you. They'll think you're one of them.
Maybe Michael is peeing in the scuba suit.
I don't know, but if it involves someone peeing on each other, I'm in.
You're in.
I kid.
You're in. You're in.
Yeah.
You're in. Huh?
You're in.
You're in.
I'm in. So really what we get is that Dollar General Swedish guy suits up.
Yes.
And Michael.
Yes.
And he wants to save his friends. And so,
well, it works.
Yes.
He gets to where he has to go. They start pumping water out of the lower floor.
I have no idea what happens.
And he's like, great. Now they can use the radio or whatever. But Michael's got to go back out. Oh, I think he's like floating some sort of emergency beacon up to the surface.
Yeah, he has to get the power back on with the lab that's underwater because the batteries.
Yeah.
So he's like, activate the pumps, David.
Yeah. And they do that. And then he goes back out and floats some kind of, I think it's a beacon. He slowly floats it up.
That's exactly what it is.
And then the sharks grab it and take off with it. But it was enough because an icebreaker boat got their signal briefly and reaches them on the radio.
Yeah, because now they just wait. And they bag dive kits and they come up with a plan to somewhat make a new antenna.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. Like the boat is like, yeah, we got you. We were able to pick up your signal briefly and we're coming to you now, and we're going to hook you up. And because you pumped out the water, you're light enough that we could just lift you up with the helicopter and set you on the deck of the boat.
Yeah, I got questions about that too when I get there, but...
that's what they're going to do. So...
they're going to use it, like the helicopter, and since they've drained the lab, it's now going to be, like you said, lighter.
Yeah.
But the piss-smelling blonde Jared Leto puts his suit... I'm just kidding.
Michael goes back outside.
To try to get ready for the sunken lab to pick it up.
Yeah.
As he calmly swims through the luscious tropical waters.
He's right out in the open.
Yeah.
And the sharks don't get him.
It's a masked scent. It has to be.
The sharks are bumping against the sides of this station because they know there's people in there to eat, but yet Michael can swim freely, and he's not bothered.
But I love this because this is another... this is another great one too, Deep Blue Sea. Many movies that we've seen something like this too in one of our Shark Weeks. When you see the helicopter come up and go, we're going to drop the cable, you're like, oh,
yeah,
I see what's going to happen here.
So they drop the cable,
And he attaches it to a fucking
tiny ass little.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to lift like a. I know it's lighter underwater.
I know.
But eventually it has to come out. Okay.
I know. Well, it's a super strong cable. Let's just say it's made
gotta
of.
Be a super strong.
It's made of diamonds or something. So Michael hooks it up to the corners of the station, and they start to pull it up. And Michael's on the radio with David inside. David's like, "Come back in," and Michael's like, "No, I don't want to risk falling off and getting left behind. I'm going to stay out here and just ride along." But a shark bites one of the hookups of the corner of the station, causing the station to go lopsided. And then Michael just gets eaten very suddenly, screaming bloody murder. He gets chomps, and I'm just going to call that my dick kill shot of the week. Dick kill shot of the week.
Dick shot, kill of the
Dick
week.
shot, kill of the week. So Michael, blonde, sexy Jesus, Jared Leto, whatever you want to call him, Fabio, dead.
Fabio is dead, and that's actually a good one, Andy, because he did kind of get ripped in half, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Which they've done like in Six-Headed Shark, like where you get to kind of, one shark and it's like, here, brother, take this other half,
Yeah.
brother shark, take this other half, brother.
Not only that, but
the helicopter, the helicopter
crashes into the ocean.
And so this
now what?
This is well, everyone in the lab freaks because it's heading back to the ocean floor.
Yep.
And don't forget to add the people in the helicopter. There were 30 people in the helicopter.
Oh, 30? I counted one pilot, but you want to count?
I counted.
You don't know. I have no idea how many people were in the helicopter.
Remember that scene when they were going, hup, 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 hup? They were like, hup, 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 hup. They were trying to get in the damn helicopter.
Quick, get all these guys.
30.
30. You really want to count it? I'm going to count at least one helicopter pilot.
Then there were 3. So now we have
Alex, David, Tracy.
And salvage bags.
So
I don't understand this, too, because...
I know this. So I guess boats and stuff trying to lift stuff up off the ocean floor, they use inflatable bags. So the boat up above sinks these they're essentially big, like, oxygen tanks with huge inflatable bags sort of wrapped up with them. And the idea is to attach one to each corner of the station and inflate them so they could just float it back to the surface. I think it's what they do with like wrecks and other salvage that's maybe too heavy to lift, or they can't lift it somehow, so they float it up. I think that's the idea.
I attach a magnet to a fishing rod.
Yeah.
That's my ingenious way.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So they that means that somebody has to swim out and hook the salvage bags up.
Yeah, because they look like big ass hot air balloons.
Correct.
Nutsacky hot air balloons
little
underwater.
Nutsacky, yeah. Alex and David are gonna swim out. Tracy's gonna stay back and work the radio or something. Tracy's kind of useless at this point.
David one last hand job in the laboratory before they head to the surface.
David holds off the sharks with a flare gun as Alex is hooking up the tanks.
Every shot he gets him in the eye. That's when I'm like, this is the same B-roll.
There was some recycled shot.
Yeah.
Him turning and shooting the flare gun. I saw the same, like, at least twice. And the guy's a dead eye. Like, he hit every shark he was shooting at. Yeah.
Because he hits him in the eye.
Right in the eye. He hit one in the mouth. Like, it swallowed the flare. But Alex gets eaten. I mean, it was very quick. Alex was like...
I didn't know. I had to go back and rewind because all I hear was, ah!
Yeah.
It was like just a voiceover.
There's no setup. She's just all of a sudden screaming, and she's dead.
Because at first I was like, wait, is it Tracy, Val, or is Fabio back? I have no idea what's going on.
So
I really started getting kind of lost here.
I know, and the suspense was killing me because there's one last salvage bag to inflate. David's got one shot to set off the bags, and then he does it. And Tracy's inside the station, and she's looking out, and she sees like a weird red glow. Like, what is that? And it's just a shark swimming up with a flare going off in its throat, and it crashes into the window. And she's fighting it off from inside the station the whole time the thing's floating up.
She fights off that damn shark from bottom ocean's floor.
Yep. All the way
up to Ocean's 11. No, I mean, she all the way up to the ship to where they drop it. Like, it's so funny, too, because when it gets out of water, and the ship's
crane,
crew,
like lifts it up.
Because the captain's like, move it over here. Like, the captain seriously looks like he's, like, in a Black Crowes cover band from Des Moines. I mean, he's like a Dollar General Chris Robinson, and he's like, move it over here. And so the crew also...
They're looking up.
They're just like, is that a shark?
And there's a shark's tail waving outside the window, hanging from this window.
I would think it was a lion because it's going...
It's making noises. Yeah, sharks growl. You guys know that?
Yes.
We've learned that in Ouija Shark and Ghost Shark.
Jody and I have talked about that all the time.
Sharks make noise.
The lovely shark movies we've seen. It's just a way, because sharks wouldn't make sound. This wouldn't be scary.
No.
So they make him go because it's more scarier.
Tracy manages to, I guess, punch the shark, and it falls out of the window onto the deck of the ship. And David was hanging out on top of the station, climbs in the window, and they embrace. He's great. And they get out of the station.
Tracy and David are the only ones alive.
But there's always one last moment of tension, right, Nick?
She gives him a hand job. Roll credits.
No,
just kidding. Much like the trope of every slasher movie.
Every
slasher movie. This shark.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. He comes back to life, and everybody's like, "Get away from the shore!"
Right there on the deck of the ship, and some men it starts thrashing around on the deck. David jumps like a hero that he is, and grabs a random gun that somehow fell on the deck, and he shoots. Instead of the shark, he sees a CO2 tank or fire extinguisher, and he shoots it, and it explodes, and it launches the shark off the boat back into the water.
David,
and they're safe.
And she gives him one last hand job and roll credits.
She hugs him, and she calls him an idiot, and he says pretty much, yeah. And they
kiss. She called him an idiot.
And they roll credits.
So, on a scale of 3 Fabio lookalikes who smell like piss to 8 Fabio lookalikes who smell like piss, what would you give this movie?
3 to 8?
Yeah.
Maybe like a 5.
5 Fabios lookalikes who smell like piss?
I think so, yeah.
Man, that's good.
Oh, well, what do you give it?
I thought you were going to give it 4.
Oh, I didn't like it, though. But
well, 5 Fabios that look like that smell like piss is kind of saying that you like them. Like out of 8 Fabios.
Your enthusiasm's rubbing off on me, I guess. So.
Well, I like getting it. Hey, but why don't we
kill count?
Do a kill count? And wow, this is going quick.
Short ass episode. I don't care.
We have more time to talk about things you can find at Dollar General. We could talk more about the conjoined twins.
No, it's getting hot in this room. I want to exit as soon as I can. Kill count.
Is it really hot?
I don't know. I'm getting warm. All right.
Menopause?
So we had 8 sled dogs and a hunter.
and a partridge in a pear.
Yeah, right. And then Sammy, your dick shot kill of the week, lost his leg and just bled out and froze to death. Followed by Eddie, token black guy, three lines or whatever, and met his end on the back of a snowmobile. Followed by Val, also just very suddenly grabbed and pulled into the water. Michael, my dick shot kill of the week, who also just swimming and got eaten by a shark. The helicopter pilot fell into the water. And Alex, who was hooking up the salvage bags, and she got killed just out of the blue, like really fast. All the shark deaths were not drawn out. They were just quick, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 8, 15.
Much like Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre, I don't think this one necessarily called for boobies. This one was kind of more like sensual spy.
Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre, though,
would have done a lot better with boobs.
Had boobs. It had like softcore porn stars in it.
Adult entertainment workers in the soft business.
And there's a bunch of women in white, tight tank tops walking around in that movie, and yeah, there was nothing. And didn't the sharks like swim in the ground in that movie, like Tremors?
Yes.
God. So these ones swim in the ice.
This in the ice. Like, so this is good.
I find this a little more believable. I mean, than swimming through the ground. So next week.
Which is more believable.
Right.
Next Sharks week. That swim in creeks
and...
Yeah, what's going on next week? Shark Week continues over here at Marine Biology U.
We have my choice for our shark movie, and we're also staying in 2016, 1 hour, 26 minutes, Planet of the Sharks.
Yes.
It's the near future. Glacial meltings covered nearly 98% of the Earth's landmass. Sharks have flourished and now dominate the planet, operating as one massive school led by a mutated alpha shark. I started watching it. It's Waterworld meets Planet of the Apes, 100%.
I'm so excited that Stephanie Baron is in it. You might, I don't know if you remember her from Big Kill or Fatal Call. But
I don't.
She played Felicia Stiletto in Big Kill.
Oh.
In Fatal Call, Lily, she was nominated for an Oscar. So,
wow, nominated for an Oscar, and she's doing Planet of the Shark.
Fake news.
Hey, you son of a bitch. God damn it.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way any of this movie is going to fucking... Come on, Andy. Dude.
Well, Planet of the Sharks, available on Plex, Roku channel, all your favorite free platforms. Watch that one. you know, I don't know when it takes place.
I like your analogy of it though. I'm looking at it
They
kind of.
call it near future, but it's like everyone's wearing like old shitty clothes. You know, like it's not, you know, like Waterworld. Everything's broken down, and they've all had to. There's new languages, and I don't know. So is it 100 years in the future? Is it?
You said you watched 20 minutes of it.
Roughly.
What aquarium in Toronto do you think they filmed this in?
I don't know. I think they maybe went to San Diego SeaWorld.
What aquarium? What pond outside of Edmonton did they film this in?
But it's definitely got a Waterworld vibe because all the humans are living on like floating cities, rafts with walkways, boardwalks all over. Who knows where they got the wood? I don't know, but
I know what
there's
gives
no
me
land.
wood. I'm seriously real quick. This is, and I'll shut up. Like I'm really stoked on one that Shark of the Dead. I think even with CGI, I could make that movie blow all this shit out of the water. Because it's funny, it's got kills.
I bet it would be way better than a lot of these.
I would love for everyone to. I want to get people to read it, get people's thoughts. Hey, Mark Atkins directed this. I don't know if you brought this up. I know we got a little bit of time, but what's great about Mark, most people might remember him from such movies as Android Cop. He was a cinematographer on that. He was the director of Night Orchard, and he was a cinematographer. Orchard. He was also the
What's the group of instruments that plays
Orchid?
Is orchestra?
Orchestra.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's the pill. That's the pill you take when you have the runs. Orchestra.
You mean an orchestra?
So hey,
Orchard.
Carissa, do you have anything to say?
What's the one flower?
Orchid.
Orchid.
Lily.
Orchid? It's an
Lily.
orchid, right?
Lily. Lily's the pill you take when you feel like you gotta go poo.
So follow us on Instagram.
Wait, do you want to say anything?
/U_podcast.
Nothing to say? Jody, you got anything to say?
No.
Thanks for being here and watching us record this
Can I do a shout
51-minute movie.
Yeah, you can do a shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out to Wayne McCon, our childhood friend, who found you guys on Spotify.
Shout out Wayne. Randomly found us and realized, holy shit, I knew that guy.
No way.
When I was a kid. Yeah.
So
He's
wait.
a friend of ours from up north.
Awesome. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Didn't know we were doing it.
That is weird. Like someone like
Showed up
hey,
in his recommendations and he's like, it just says Nick and Andy. It doesn't say my last name, but he started listening. He was like, fuck, I know these guys. I know Andy. Yeah, so
doesn't know me.
He doesn't yet.
God. Yeah, that's probably for the best.
And that's why he's still listening. So thanks, Wayne. /U_podcast, /U_podcast@gmail.com, /U_podcast.com. Go to the buy stuff section and click anything there, any links. You'll help out the show. And murder_cabin_movie.
To purchase one of our farts in a jar, hit us up on Instagram, $5.
I got to be careful making those. Sometimes they're
Wouldn't that
not
be
a
great
fart.
though if people did request that from us though, Andy? If they were like,
a fart in the jar?
yeah, like, hey, would you guys both fart in the same jar and send it to me for $500?
Done. Easy. Yeah.
God.
I would 100% go butt to butt with you and fart in a jar.
No, we would have to go butt to butt.
$500.
I would just do it real quick, and then you would do it real quick.
No, we would back to back and we'd squat over a jar.
How come both of our
We could do it like
how
a
come
funnel.
both of our cornholes fit over the jar?
A big funnel. Then put the other end of the funnel in the jar.
funnel, and then you would have to put saran wrap around.
Wide mouth jar. Yeah. And so until next time.
Yes, we gotta go.
That's it. Anything else? No?
No.
Great. Class dismissed.
Thanks, everybody.